All right, so I'm just gonna continue using the same ball of sugar. It seems like it still has some life left in it, so we'll see how long it holds up here. I'm gonna put a little bit of cornstarch on the skin just to give a little bit of a protective barrier, and it seems to cut down a little bit on the sting of when the sugar pulls off the skin. And I'm going sideways just because my hair actually grows down this way for a lot of the inner thigh. So you always want to, in general or in theory, go against the hair and pull with the hair to get the best results with sugaring, which is actually the opposite of waxing. So if you're familiar with waxing, just try to keep that in mind when you're learning. Tell yourself, go the opposite way, against the hair and pull with. So one of the things I've been talking about today is just, the big common question that I get all the time referring to sugaring is does it hurt? Or does it hurt more than waxing? Or does it, does it hurt? How painful is it? And so this area of the body tends to be a little more sensitive than some of the other body areas. And I guess when I say that specifically, I'm talking about this inner part of, like, the inner thigh. Some parts of the legs don't really hurt that much, and then there's other parts of the legs that just feel a little more tender. And one of the reasons that I find is just because where the skin is a little bit looser, it's going to snap a little more on the skin or just pull a little more on the skin. So inner thighs tends to be that little bit softer skin, and it is important to work the best you can to pull that skin tight, and that will really cut down the pain compared to if you don't pull the skin tight. And sometimes you'll even notice if you're not pulling the skin tight enough, the sugar won't even come off. So that's one clue if you're trying to get the sugar off and it's just not coming. Just remember, pull that skin really tight, and it'll be more effective in pulling off. So, and actually I was a little more tender down in here, and as I'm coming up my thigh, it's actually getting less tender for some reason. Behind the knee is also a kind of a tender spot. Sometimes that can be a little more sensitive. Around the ankle just kind of has a strange feeling. A lot of times, like, sort of that instinct where if you get hurt and you just want to fight back, that when around the ankle for some reason kind of makes me feel that irritation, almost like an irate feeling, because it's like, that hurts, and then you just want to like punch something, but it goes away fast. So but just to try to describe, like, the different parts of the legs are going to feel different. If somebody's brand new getting their legs done for the first time, I like to kind of start off with areas that aren't going to be as sensitive, so they sort of ease into it. And other technicians might prefer to just get the worst out of the way first and then end with the gentler areas, so that they kind of end, they kind of remember, like, oh yeah, it didn't hurt that bad, because they remember more the ending part. But it's up to you if you want to get the bad news over first, or just save the bad news for last. So on my legs, this upper part is mostly just like peach fuzzy kind of hair, so that part doesn't hurt much on me. I would imagine that for a man where they have thick, coarse hair, it probably does hurt a little more. So just because, like, on my inner thigh is like more the pubic hair, coarse hair, and I think that's one of the reasons it hurts more. And then just coming up here, there's actually more hair, but it's just the blonder, finer, fuzzy hairs. So it just doesn't seem to hurt as bad. So this piece of sugar got, the full inner thigh on this leg as well. So it was, it's working really good. And I'm pretty much done with like the inner thigh part.